Hi.
Hello,
Thanks so
hi.
much for
So my apologies again
allowing
that
me
this
to have this
audio
interview.
will probably
Hopefully
not
this
match
time
exactly
is being recorded
whenever
because I'm so
the
sorry
screen is
because the screen might not match
I think
whatever the voice
it
I'm
wasn't just
generating because
recorded, and that
the
was
first
really
time it
bad.
was not
So,
recorded at all and it was really bad.
So I will just quickly re-answer everything.
I know it could be useless now, but I will just answer everything and try to
what's
make
your
sure
approach to
the answers stay
outreach?
consistent. But I will be much faster. So what will be approach to co-outreach with the CEO who doesn't know you? First of all, 3 steps. Number 1, know the company. So like the company, of course, the industry, the product they sell, the service they sell, and what we offer, what we can match. That's a research. And then another one is the CEO itself or himself, herself. Know the person, like doing research online, up to the company they had, down to maybe the habits, if they help. And third, just being prepared with a call because, and lastly, besides that, is knowing the industry. So what position is playing, the company is playing in the industry, so we know exactly what to offer or what they need. And the second question, so how to stay motivated? So I think I answered first, just stay positive. I know that's cliche, but that's the tip or like personal that you gotta do. And another one is trying to have some virtual meetings of support. Hopefully we will have some when there are or on board, so I can know what could be a normal rejection or could be a not, so you can be not normal rejection, so you could be mentally prepared and know the situation or know how to reset based on the situation. Third question, so asks you to prepare for a meeting with CFO with a 200 million revenue. So, and because that's a short time of period, 24 hours. And it's important because of the high volume, so revenue volume. So I will just do a few things. Number one, the bucket. Number one is because we're private equity, like a company or like analyst or whatever. Well, I would just go to their website to see if there or any other website that have their either like 10K or like their annual filing to know what's going on within the company, how they're doing in terms of the figures. So that would be first bucket, and second is just similar to cold outreach email, just know what they're doing, and then in the industry, like what they offer in terms of product, service, and so I mean, it's more like qualitative versus the first part is quantitative. And I think I had a third point. Sorry, I'm glad I actually jot down some notes. So I guess just I think having a list of questions, I think that could be like what we can ask or they might ask us, so having those prepared in mind. And lastly, just go to the call. And sorry, the next question. So we need to cultivate relationship with bankers, brokers. Okay, I have to re-answer all this. Okay, so this is I would just borrow an example from past. It was cider, and it was an e-commerce company, so it will be a little bit different than what we have now. But I would just borrow the example because I was the one who do the entire thing, the project from 0 to 1 or like A to Z. So it was since the e-commerce company, they were doing the project offline. It's an influencer event, and it's the first time they're doing it. So definitely there were a lot of relationship and also event planners within like team like within the team, and also the influencers themselves. So I was actually able to build those relationships. And first of all, so starting within the company, like talking to my manager, so like know what's the goal, we're aligned, and make sure that's good within the team, or like yeah. And then I also I'll go talk to the event planners, having a list of the planners, their pros and cons, and also just having those researches done, and then also influencers, and that will be copied, or like yeah, I think if you know what I mean, like to this position, or like what I will be doing, because it will be like bankers, brokers, executives, and then let's say at least like their name, their contact information, and instead of pros and cons, like their industry, their position, and yeah, and then maybe track the progress, because one is more like a okay, I think I answered it a little bit different in the previous version, which is not record, but in this version, I would just say it was because e-commerce position, it was more like building a relationship and kind of along with the project. But now this position is more like a stretch out in a longer time frame. Does that make sense? Yeah. So like yeah. So I would just, instead of doing like maybe a team within team event planners outreach at a certain period amount of time, and the influencers, then this position will just be like a list, and then just reaching out like more regularly, like frequently, to all of them basically. And then I'm still keeping a great relationship with whomever I met or built for that side of the project. So hopefully I will be able to doing the same, or I think I will be able to do that, cultivate the relationship in this position. Yeah, so number 5, we value hunger and horsepower. A situation where we show both of this. From my understanding, hunger and horsepower is just, not it just, but it's more like self-starting, self-motivation, and also being able to grasp something on your own on the table. So an example will be the most recent rule. Equity. In terms of the industry, it will be a little bit similar to this, because they're both private equity, and I was like hunger. It was self-started. Basically I work on some financial modeling and stuff without being actually asked to do it. Before that, a little bit of the role, I was able to do some deal sourcing, financial modeling in this position as the analyst intern, or yeah. So hunger, and then so that it will pay off, because at the end, I think when the team or anyone who's asking for where does this number come from, I will just have a better idea. Well, actually I did, so by doing extra researches on my own. And then also horsepower, my understanding, maybe developing while finishing a task, or like not task, but like being able to deliver in a pretty tight, fast-paced timeline, and then with a high quality. I think I handled that well, so I think I will be able to handle that well as well in this position. Like time management and communication. And next, question. Sorry. Oh yeah. Okay. Next question. I'm afraid that it will got lost this time as well, so I was just double checking. Tell me about a time you had to hit a goal that seemed unrealistic. I will talk about a role or that hasn't been put on the resume yet, but it's more like a recent thing that I did on the side. It was helping with live stream. And then I know it's a little bit different than this position as well, so the goal was to hit the GME much higher, like to 5K in one day. But when I was joining, it was around like 2K. So I was the one starting off having kind of meetings, basically recap meetings every day after each show, like if you call it show. So just look at the numbers, like what we sell good, what we did not sell good, and then just even also having talking to the people, like because it's a live stream, so there are hosts, there are audience, so like how was engagement and interaction and stuff like that. So every day it was changing, but then having those kind of down to the sheet, and then kind of make it being able to analyze or track. I did that, and then it was helpful. Again, even though every day was changing, but we're able to grab some insights and then apply those insights. Apply? Sorry, I don't know why I said that. Okay, so, but yeah, indeed, it was, actually we were able to reach 6K GME for one day, and then it grows little by little, and then it took, I think, 1 week, actually almost 2 weeks to do that. But yeah, that was successful and unrealistic at first. Okay, so yeah, so that was it, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Yeah, and then again, thank you and happy for this interview, and hopefully to stay touched.